Good morning. It is 21 minutes after 8 o'clock, and joining us in studio this morning, Chaves County Manager Bill Williams back with us. Good morning, sir.
Good morning. Good to see you.
Good seeing you. How are you doing today?
I'm well so far, but it's starting to get cold.
It's feeling more like fall and
Yeah.
kind of winter here in New Mexico.
I'd rather it be 100 degrees, and I'll tell you the same thing in July. I like it to be warmer.
All right. Well, I'm going to wait till that 110-degree day. I'm like, Bill, how you feeling about today now?
I plan to give you a thumbs up. I don't want to go back on it.
Very good. But, of course, for folks that aren't aware, Bill, County Manager for Chaves County, he joins us every month after the County Commission meeting and kind of gives us the skinny on what's going on with the county, updating the County Commission meeting. Obviously, if the other things happening around the county, we kind of get people up to date on that.
Yeah, you're very nice to invite me in for special events.
We love having all you folks to come in and just keeping us all up to date on what's going on. I mean, obviously, there's a lot of work that happens on that commission, and we do appreciate all the work they do, and we do appreciate the opportunity to just hear about it and going on it, and then giving an opportunity for folks to understand and respond accordingly.
Yeah, the commissioners, they're always, their ears to the ground. They're listening to their constituents, and they're figuring out which things we need to address, how we need to improve the services that they do. I mean, they're great.
Sure.
We're just really appreciative of them.
Which it's kind of a busy time right now for the county commission because, like the city we just talked about last hour with the redistricting and what's going on there, the county too has to do the same thing and make sure that the districts in the county line up with the population now and all of this has been kind of elongated and dragged out and turned into a big hot mess this time because everything's been delayed because of COVID. Normally this had been done a long time ago, but
right,
because
all the census numbers came out way late. And then we have a deadline. We have to get this done.
That doesn't move. The election cycle doesn't move.
Right.
So the deadline doesn't change, but the amount of time that municipalities and commissions and counties and everything are given to get these districting lined up correctly is much shorter, therefore much more contentious and busy right now. That's just,
and there's a lot of give and take on that. The lines move and this option would work, but it creates this problem, or this option would work, but it creates this problem. And as we were talking just before we went on the radio, there's always the potential if you're elected in a district. In the case of the commissioners, you're elected to serve for a district, and the boundary lines change.
Yeah, you're technically representing the right people.
Yeah, you're still representing the people that elected you, and of course, in Chaves County, our commissioners, it doesn't matter where the boundary line is.
They
if
represent
you call
the county.
any of the commissioners, they're going to take care of your problem.
Sure.
They're not going to say, "Well, you need to call Dave."
Sure,
they're going to take it and run with it.
Yeah,
but if they're in a commission district and the boundary line changes, they finish out their term, and then they would have to run in the new district.
Gotcha.
The problem is the districts are staggered. So if the district next door to you is on a different schedule, so you serve your 4-year term, and then the boundary line has changed, you can't run in the same district you're in, so you might have another district that you can't run in for 2 more years.
Absolutely, and the commission elections are staggered by design. That way, you don't have an entire new commission show up. There's always some carryover from the previous commission, so that the work doesn't get interrupted. Because in theory, if all the county commission gets changed in one session, now you got to train everybody, get them up to speed, get everything going, and that's a lot of delay. So to avoid that, they stagger the elections.
Right.
So we can't. If we don't stagger them, then we run into the problem we just talked about here. So we can't do that as an option either. So that's going to be someone might have to bite a bullet and sit out for a little bit because it's just the nature of how the districting lined up, and no one wants that, but sometimes that's just the nature of how it gets drawn out.
Well, one of the things that came up at yesterday's meeting that I'm kind of surprised we didn't think of sooner was they said, we'd like to see all the demographic information, leaving all the county commission districts exactly as they are, because you have a certain percentage of population that you can vary, be a little bit over, a little bit under. And, we didn't have the original map done. So we're asking for those numbers so we can
Okay.
see maybe there's a possibility we can leave all the county commission districts exactly as they are.
So it's kind of like, hey, wait a minute, maybe it's not broke.
Yeah, maybe we don't,
We don't need to fix it.
But we had former Senator Rod Adair, as the demographer, and he did a tremendous amount of work. He and his assistant Bobby Shearer, they take so much into account, and I know there's a whole lot goes into
there's
this,
a lot of
whole lot of
formulas
different
and calculations.
right, and it's just kind of a in-depth process, and he's done a great job. I believe today is his birthday, so I want to shout out happy birthday, Rod.
Yeah.
But anyway, we're looking forward to moving on with redistricting.
Okay.
Yesterday, we tabled it.
Okay.
So we will have another special meeting probably somewhere around the week of December the 6th.
Okay. So I imagine that at that point they'll have the old, and then they can compare and contrast.
Yeah, they'll compare
point.
that.
Okay.
They'll, we had an additional plan came up after our public meeting on the 9th. Plan E came out of public comment from Plan D. Plan D was changed up a little bit, which created Plan E. And so we have 5 plans now. And then when we get the other demographic information, we'll be back with the original county plan,
So
which may be Plan F. I don't know how many plans there'll be, but I suspect that at the meeting they will work through it and be ready to go.
Yeah.
So,
Okay. Good deal. Well, but it's one of those things that they got to go through it and do it, and it's pretty tedious and stuff. But like I said, they're going to hopefully work on and get it done, and I'm sure by the deadline that they need to get it done, they're going to have an option picked and ready to go.
And it really means a lot to me that our county commissioners, there's obviously different opinions on this, and our county commission is always professional about everything that they do.
Absolutely.
They don't get into yelling matches or anything else. They discuss it openly and decide, do we have enough information to make this decision? If they do, they make it. If they don't, they say, let's talk about this a little bit more. And,
Gotcha.
and they're just ultimate professionals.
They want to
always
get it
are.
right. Right is bigger priority than quick. On this one.
That's correct.
Yeah.
And they've done a really good job. They always do a really good job. But yesterday was just a testament to how professional this group of people are.
Yeah. Well, and that's how government should be, and that's the example we always say is it's really, there's a lot of things you're not going to agree on everything. They're not going to, that'd be very weird if everybody agreed on everything and all that. But as long as everyone understands the reasoning and logic and why we're doing it, then we can discuss it like rational adults and say, hey, this is from this angle. Okay, I'm willing to talk to you about, but I got to address this first.
Right.
How do we incorporate this, but not forgetting this? And as long as everyone understands that, then guess what? We find ways to work that kind of stuff out.
Yeah, and we just really are fortunate here. Every one of our county commissioners obviously thinks for themselves, and they will bring up different aspects of anything that they're talking about. Well, I think this, or I believe this, or I see it this way. And they all do that, but they're pretty much together anytime it comes to a vote. It's because they do discuss these things and they do respect each other's opinions, and they come up with the good.
Everyone sees the big picture and they understand that this isn't all about me.
Right.
I want to do what's best for the people I represent.
For the entire county.
But at the same time.
And we seldom have split votes because our commissioners are, good representatives of our county, and they don't have egos they have to take care of. Instead, they take care of business and do what's right.
Good deal.
Proud of them.
So they'll they continue to do that, and we appreciate it, because that's that's that keeps the ship from steady in the stormy waters.
Yep.
When you got people that keep their even keels and just kind of, that was a lot of shipping references there, but
Arr, matey. So yesterday we had, besides the redistricting, which, like I say, we are going to readdress that a little later on, but we'll get a solution in plenty of time for the deadline.
Good deal.
We had our usual representation from the community, some local entities come and give us an update every month. The chamber comes in, tells us all the great stuff that they're doing.
Different organizations the county supports or provides funding for, basically.
Right.
Yeah.
Provides funding or just people that are within our county that are doing such a great job, and,
Yeah.
and we like to hear how much good they're doing.
Sure, absolutely.
For instance, Main Street Roswell came in yesterday, and Chaves County actually does not fund Main Street Roswell monetarily, and they came in to thank us for 20 plus years of use of the courthouse. We're always there to help them with stuff. And, they provide such a service, the downtown stuff during the summer, the farmer's market, what a deal.
Absolutely.
And
by the way, do you know if they still got any of their Christmas ornaments left?
I believe they do have Christmas ornaments. And yesterday they gave each of us a Christmas ornament.
Yeah,
and
they're beautiful. Based for this year, they got the Chaves County Courthouse. And it's like a metal disc. I don't know all the art.
Yeah, it's kind of like
terms.
a relief. It's got the county courthouse with a couple of trees over the front of it, and it's like 3D almost. The way that the pieces
really
all
beautiful.
fit together. It's really nifty.
MainStreetRoswell.org. If you go there, you can order them.
Right.
I think they're about $25 a piece or something like that.
They're
Collector's
really
items.
neat.
Yeah.
I think there's 2 or 3 different styles.
Yeah, I think you're right.
I think one's more of an antique finish, and one's got more color on it, and one's bronzy or something.
Get the whole set.
It's been a few days since that's what we did. We got one of each.
Well,
at home,
I love those because especially if you're a family, maybe a young family, and you're kind of, always ornaments are always kind of family traditions. And don't forget the one I made in 2nd grade or this. I think you can incorporate those in your family ones and the kids. Ooh, let me have the courthouse ornament dang and all that. So make it part of your family tradition.
Well, one of the other things that Main Street did yesterday is, last time I was here, we were talking about the auction we were having for the courthouse windows.
Yes, the
historic
windows.
Courthouse windows, and they would come with a certificate of authenticity, saying where they came from on the courthouse. They were replaced during a remodel. So Main Street Roswell, Juliana, bought one of those windows. Well, she bought several windows, but she bought one of the windows, and she took one of the photographs she has taken of the courthouse, had it enlarged, put it into the picture frame or into the window frame,
and using it as a frame. Okay.
and presented that to the county. So
cool.
And it's just really neat. A picture of the actual courthouse.
Nice.
Talking about when it was built, and I put a picture of that up on the county's Facebook page, and I encourage you to look at it. It's just really cool.
So they picked a spot where they're going to display this thing? Or?
Well, yeah, I wanted to put it in the hall, but I got a little bit worried. We actually have had people, believe it or not, come in and take stuff right off the wall and walk out with it.
That's pretty bold.
We decided it probably should be in an office area so that it's not as easy to walk out with, because it's a real treasure to us. So
that takes it takes things I can't say right on the radio in the way I want to say it, but that's bold.
Someone came in, there was a wooden plaque with a silver spur on it. And obviously it's not truly a silver spur. It was silver colored, but it was the Silver Spur Award. And someone came in apparently and took a look at it, decided what they would need to steal the spur off of there, came back with a pair of pliers, cut the wires off, slipped it in their pocket or whatever, and ran out. So we walking down the hall one day, and there's a blank plaque without all the components to it. It was just really strange. But people are bold.
That is
that way.
Wow. Okay.
But anyway, let's move past that. We have a great community, and we don't want the bad ones to
just
spoil
one or
it for
two
the rest of
savages
us.
in there. Jiminy Christmas.
One of the exciting things that we did yesterday is we passed Ordinance O-109.
All right.
And I'm going to read this. This is a mouthful. It's an ordinance of Chaves County approving the project and authorizing the execution of an intergovernmental agreement and a project participation agreement for LEDA-eligible expenditures in connection with the construction of an MRO facility in Chaves County.
All right.
So
What does all that mean?
LEDA is local economic development.
Okay.
And the state has a local economic development. Of course, we have our local Chaves County, Roswell Chaves County Economic Development Corporation, which is Micah Spiritu.
Yes.
But on the state level, we have the state LEDA. And this ordinance is for the Ascent Aviation Project.
Okay.
So this is set up, the project participation agreement is between Chaves County and Ascent Aviation, and the intergovernmental agreement is between Chaves County and the state of New Mexico, because we are providing the mechanism to reimburse them for lease payments.
Gotcha. Okay.
So as they meet certain thresholds of bringing the employment, and these are good jobs too. I can't remember what the average pay is.
These are career jobs.
Yeah, these are really good jobs. They're bringing 354 jobs, I believe, is the number that they're talking about.
Nice.
So at certain thresholds, I think once they reach 117, they're eligible to request a portion of the money that's set aside for them.
So when they hit their milestones on the numbers they're promising, then they get their rewards,
So
basically. Cool.
So we,
Okay.
there's a whole process we have to go through for that. And we did the same thing with USA Beef. We'll have a few more coming up. Not quite as large as this. This is $3 million.
Gotcha. I imagine they're all commensurate with the employees they're bringing in and so forth and so on.
Right.
So.
But we're really excited. They're started on the design and the groundbreaking, and all will be very soon.
Cool.
At the airport, and
That's great to
that's a
see.
great thing for our community. The city of Roswell is very involved in that, getting the hangars designed and built and all that stuff.
Any infrastructure investments out there at the airport is a win-win for our community.
Right.
That's
Right.
That's all it is at the end of the day, is a win-win for us.
And that it truly is a community project.
Mhm.
Everyone is working together on that to try to bring this in and bring 350, good paying jobs to the
Yeah.
county, plus the support jobs that they say come out of these MRO facilities. And that's maintenance repair operations, MRO facility. I learned a term here.
Government
in the last
loves
couple
their
of years.
acronyms.
Yes. But that's going to be a really neat thing.
Yeah.
Then, so the redistricting plan was a public hearing. The ordinance is a public hearing, so people have the opportunity to say they're for it or against it.
Mhm.
Then we had 4 other public hearings with planning and zoning. 2 of them were in one neighborhood where the alleys were dedicated to the use and the benefit of the public, and the owners of that property out there, they all own they said, we don't need alleys. We actually would like our property to be contiguous. And so they asked us to vacate the alleys. And so there were 2 separate alleys, 2 separate applications, the whole thing, but they heard those together.
Okay.
And got rid of some alleys for the people that own the property out there.
So basically, do their properties extend in the middle of the alley now, I guess?
Yeah,
They get half
So
the alley,
whoever
so to
owns
speak?
on either side of the alley, and the thing is, the same people own both sides of the alley.
Oh,
So
I
mean,
gotcha.
it all made a
No
lot more
arguments
sense.
there.
It's just that the subdivision was put in the 1960s, and
Okay.
they thought it was going to be something different than it was. It's actually kind of country property,
Okay.
and so
Gotcha.
so they got rid of those alleys. And,
Okay,
and
just not
did that.
needed. So cool.
And then on a similar thing, someone asked to get rid of an alley in another subdivision, which was not, the alley was never accepted by the county. And a lot of plats they put in, the streets, alleys, parks, whatever, are dedicated to the use and the benefit of the public.
Mm-hmm.
And then there's an acceptance line. So you can give stuff to the county if you want, which people do a lot of times. They have a piece of property that they're paying taxes on and they don't want it anymore. So we want to give this to the county. We don't want it. We
Right.
don't need it. We don't need the liability.
Yeah.
So there's 2 parts to it. It has to be dedicated to you, and then you have to accept it. So in the first cases, the alleys actually were approved and taken over by the county. So they actually had the right of way. So they had
Okay.
to clearly give that up because it was their property.
Gotcha.
In the third case, we never accepted the alley, but someone has to go through the process to make sure it can be given up so that the property lines can be redrawn to the people on both sides of the alley. So,
Gotcha.
so we facilitated the process, even though it was not really our alley to give up.
Just cleaning up the mess.
Yeah,
basically.
kinda cleaning up
Let's
something.
Just tighten up the lines, make it everyone understands they're on the same page.
And I think that subdivision was 1949, I think maybe, and I could be wrong on that. But anyway, we got through all those.
Okay.
And then we had a special use permit for a wireless telecommunication tower. Those are pretty simple.
Standard.
And, just stuff we have to do. Then we got into our resolutions and agreements. So we've been working, well, we haven't been working. They've been working extremely hard, and that's the Chaves County Health Council. They've done so many things behind the scene to make sure there's adequate health care, mental health care. They take so many things into consideration in trying to build a robust program within Chaves County to do so many good things.
And they do it, whatever resources they have. If they've got Cadillac money, then they're doing Cadillac work. If they've got Lemonade money, they're making Cadillac work.
But they're constantly working
Yeah.
and reaching for the for the goal,
Sure.
and they do a great job. So we had an opportunity they needed a place. They recently hired a full-time person, and they needed an office for them. And we had an office that we weren't using, so we put together a low-cost lease for them,
Cool.
and we got that approved. It was no problem. And so we're excited to be able to work with them because they do such good work and such a good job to even be able to do any small
Absolutely.
part to help them, it's
Well, they
we,
serve
we
the
like it.
community, and anything
Right.
that serves the county and the people of the county. If the county can't do it directly, then they're going to support the people that are doing it the best way that they can, and that's kind of what this situation
Yeah.
is. It's like, yeah, we can't take on that work ourselves as a county, but thank you and we're going to help you and try to clear the path for you to do what you can do to get that done.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So we're just really excited to be able to work with them on that. Then we had something that has to happen every year, and that's we have to approve the holiday schedule for the coming year.
Okay.
And that's not as easy as a person might think.
I imagine there's probably one or two that's like, I really want this day off or something.
Oh gosh, we have a certain number of hours that we do. Plus, we have 8-hour employees and 10-hour employees, so you actually have to do 2 holiday schedules in order to make it happen.
Okay.
We try to be considerate of everyone's faith and interest and everything, so we
Sure.
have to alternate holidays from year to year and try to do different things.
Yeah, because you can't get them all off or we get no work done.
Right. And then comes the fact of the dates, and that's where. So I punched into the computer holiday schedule, and it popped up with a map with all the yearly holidays. The problem was when I start building one of these things, I'll take last year's or whatever, and so I pulled up a holiday schedule. Turned out it wasn't last year's; it was the year before.
Oh,
So it was a 2020 holiday schedule. So I start scratching out dates and writing in new dates from 2021 because I'm noticing they need to go up 1 year. So I'm on the wrong thing online and figuring out which ones they are. So I get it all done. Then I realize those are all 2021 dates. So I start over. So I go back into the holiday thing and try to realign everything and make sure which ones land on Friday and which ones are a Wednesday holiday, because we try to do, Mondays or Fridays,
Sure,
to
yeah.
make it work properly.
Just make it so you're not working 2 days and off 1 day and work 3 days.
Finally get it all done for 22. Great. That's perfect. So
Good.
as we do our agenda, we attach everything to it and publish that prior to our meeting. As soon as we got it sent out, the very next morning, someone comes in and says, January the 2nd is not a Monday, January the 3rd. So I had to redo it all because I got one of my dates wrong. So, I mean, something you would think would be very, very simple. I spent probably 2 hours on trying to get it ready.
Calendar was just not your friend that day.
No, it was not my friend at all. So, but that's kind of how it goes sometimes. Sometimes the easiest things take the most time, and sometimes those difficult tasks just fall into place.
Good news is you did this year's twice.
Yeah. Yep.
But after all said and done, it's worked out and done.
It's done, and
and-
the commissioners, approved our holidays for us, and
Good deal.
So we're ready to go.
Ready for 2022 when it hits.
And
on that.
of course, next year or next month is December, so we'll start doing some of the housekeeping chores that we have to do, every year in December, January. There's a lot of things that have to be redone, rewritten, and then again at the fiscal year change, which would be the
June, July time frame.
yeah, June, July. So June is the end of the year, so we try to do some things so they're in place for July, and then
Sure.
in July some things have to start over. So
Yeah.
So-
And really, you probably do it then because the April, March timeframe is really heavy budget time.
that's the
You're
budget
setting
time.
that budget for the fiscal year,
Right.
so there's not a lot of wiggle room to get that stuff done during that time. So you get that hard part knocked out, and you're like, all right, now we can button up the end of the fiscal year here in June
Right.
time frame. So
So it's kind of funny how, just in the middle of the year, all of a sudden you have all this housekeeping work to do. Contracts have to be redone, whether it's the calendar year or the fiscal year. But anyway, it keeps us going.
Yeah.
We have plenty to do.
well,
So-
and it really is. It's a big reciprocal. It's just like everything else in life. We all have our times. County's no different. It's like, oh, it's this time of year. It means we got to do this, this, and this again.
Right.
All right. Hey, it's that time of year. Time to talk. Abandoning or naming
Vacating.
roads or vacating roads.
And then
It's
that's coming up too.
Yeah, that'll
you know.
be starting here the first part of next year again.
Yep.
So yeah, it's,
Yeah, at next month's meeting, Mac should bring forth the schedule for road vacations and the road hearing stuff. So he'll have the entire schedule worked out for when we're going to do that,
Okay.
when we're going to start taking the applications, and we only do it once a year.
Yeah.
So it's a very critical that we do it properly.
Yeah,
So
absolutely. But yeah, more on that's really the business of government. It's really just, tis the season and you go into one and into the other and ideally In a perfect world, it's routine and works and things, and then life happens, and that changes all that. But in theory, that's really how the county works for all these years, keeping the ship going smooth and not drastic changes here and that. It's all about consistency and doing that.
Exactly,
And
and just being aware of what's going on around us.
Yeah.
For instance, we've talked about this before. There are certain things that have to be passed every odd year and stuff. From the state, there's statute requirements that you have to do certain things only in the odd years. And so, darn it, is this an odd or an even? You got
to make
and
sense
I've already told you I can't keep up with what year I'm in, so it's really difficult.
We need a new system for you.
A couple other things that we did yesterday. We approved a request for out-of-state travel for one of the employees of flood control.
Okay.
They bought a new scraper a couple of months ago.
Okay.
And they bought a new dozer, I believe, last year. And so this gentleman is going to go to Colorado and get some specific training on how to do like laser leveling and that kind of thing. I think it's all GIS tied to GIS and GPS coordinates and that.
So really, it's more advanced training on the equipment to use it. You do all that it's intended to do.
Right. And they've got some really good equipment operators out there and employees, and he's being trained up so that they can cut that grade to a perfect level, so that's kind of cool.
Yeah.
I'm hoping that one of these days they'll invite me out to try out their new dozer. It'd be kind of fun, but
hey,
they haven't done it yet.
Throw some weight around. I mean, county manager's got to throw some, I'm sure that it's got to open a few doors to get you to do that.
That doesn't open many doors at all. Doesn't do much, but but I am hopeful that they'll send me an invitation to come hop on the dozer. So we also did a waiver of right-of-way fee, a road cut fee for Berindo Water Co-op. We've talked about those before.
Sure.
They provide such a service to our community, people out in the county,
the rural parts out there,
and they have miles and miles, probably thousands of miles of water lines, certainly hundreds, if not thousands of miles of water lines, and they have leaks from time to time. They do a great job of getting the road cut, digging down, not tearing. If I was doing it, I would tear up more line than I fixed. And getting down there, making the patch, going back and repairing the road properly. And so when they repair it according to our standards, we have an option there because they are a franchisee of the county. They have a non-exclusive franchise agreement to provide water services to our community. We will allow them to request a waiver of those fees. And as long as they do the job right, as long as they're not tearing up our roads, we're more than happy to do that because the service they provide to
it's a reward for being good stewards of our resources, basically.
Right.
Yeah. Which is good. That's that's how everything works. It's like, hey, you're doing a great job here. You're saving us money. You're saving things.
Right.
We're gonna scratch your back for doing that, and thank you for looking out for our people.
But at the same time, we had to write our right-of-way use policy to provide for if someone digs a hole in the road, what's it cost to fix that, and so we can charge people for those things.
Exactly.
And so we don't want to just all of a sudden say, we never thought about what it was going to cost us to fix that.
Make sure you're not just footing the bill for everybody as a big thank you. It's like, oh man, that was more than I thought. So,
but anyway, that went through. The commissioners again appreciate all that they do for our community.
Well, and that's good government. People, you reward good work, and then of course you try to litigate and fix what's going wrong. And that's government at the end of the day. And there's like, this is just one of those things. It's like, hey, these are services. You're helping the county out. You're helping its residents. Thank you for that, for doing that. In exchange for that, we're going to hook you up and waive some of these fees to keep you guys solvent too. So
and of course there's a whole lot of guidelines we have to follow when we do something like that because we by statute can't donate. The anti-donation clause in the
Well, that's because that also can lead down the slippery slope of kickbacks and
We absolutely don't do anything that way, but we make sure that things that make sense there is a way to make those happen.
Ones that
and
are
it's only with our franchise agreement people. If some big company comes in from California or somewhere and wants to do this and that, tear up our roads.
These are long-time partnerships with the county.
These are the costs that you are associated with cutting our road or doing this or doing that. And so
people that have established relationships with the county, working relationships, establish trust.
that we can show that there's a benefit to the general public, not just to an individual or an individual company, nothing like that. We absolutely can't and won't do anything like that.
Yeah, Brenda Water basically earned this earned this trust to say, hey, you've been partners with this county for a long time. We've done many projects together. You've helped us. We've helped you.
Right.
This is a token of that partnership as a thank you, basically.
And we have to do it on a case-by-case basis. It's not just carte blanche. Anytime you do something, no, we look at everyone, and we make sure that they repair it correctly.
That's great. I like it. I like that.
And it hasn't always, worked as smoothly, but it's working very smoothly right now. And we're really happy for that.
Sure.
One other thing I want to mention before, I'm sure we're probably running short on time.
Yeah, we got about 3-4 minutes here time to talk.
I introduced our new Chaves County Detention Center director. We have a new director at the Chaves County Detention Center. His name is Justin Porter. He'll be beginning on November the 29th.
Okay.
Our previous jail administrator has retired.
Okay.
Or is in the process of retiring. Mr. Porter is coming to us from Roosevelt County. He has a great resume for jail stuff.
Was he an administrator of the
He's
jail
an administrator of the jail in Roosevelt County.
Gotcha. Okay.
He has, I believe it's like 8 years in the military training detention officers. That seems like kind of a specialized thing, especially in the military.
Yeah,
that
that's
seems
a
like,
very
wow,
niche
that's kinda,
field there.
Kind of cool.
Yeah.
14 years at the detention center in Las Cruces, almost 5 years at the detention center in Roosevelt County.
Okay, so he's served. I say served time. That's probably not the right. He's served in some.
He's done his time. I like it.
Maybe the wrong pun there, but he has served in very busy and like maximum, like the Cruces. That's a no joke facility there,
And he's the chairman of the New Mexico County's detention affiliate.
Gotcha.
He's also the chairman of the accreditation committee that's put together throughout our state, and they go and accredit different facilities. So I mean, we got a really top guy to come in and take over our jail. We're really happy for that. Looking forward to.
And when do you say he starts officially?
He starts on November the 29th.
Okay, so right after Thanksgiving here.
And he's been, coming and
shadowing and learning.
Well, yeah, he's been coming on his own time, actually,
seeing how
a couple
our
days a week to get to know our operation and make sure that things are going to transition smoothly. And of course, he's very dedicated to the place he came from, Roosevelt County, and he's making sure that they're not left in the lurch. And we wouldn't want that to happen to anyone.
He's treating them right too.
He's a real asset. I believe he's going to be great for our county.
Good deal. Well, we look forward to meeting him.
We'll bring him in.
Yeah, come on in and talk about jail stuff. But and I imagine I just saw time, but I imagine that's. It's got to be exciting for him too, because obviously the renovations, it's you got a lot to work with at this facility here, and I imagine he's probably already got ideas on what to do with this stuff and how to implement.
It's my understanding that when he went to Roosevelt County, he told them that he promised them that he would stay there for a period of time. He said, but the one thing that I want you to know is that after that period of time is up, if the Chaves County job ever comes up, that's the jail I want to run, because we're known throughout the state as one of the high quality jails. We were the first.
So this is like a bucket list thing for him. Okay.
We were the first jail to be accredited. We're the first jail to be accredited 3 times or 4 times now. So, I mean, we have a great staff at the detention center here, and they work really hard, and that's a job that I wouldn't want. Oh my gosh, they do so much good out there, and I can't speak enough good about them.
Yeah,
about how they're doing.
They do an amazing work out at the correction,
and they're going to have a great new leader now.
Yeah.
So,
well, good deal. I'm glad to hear that. Excellent. Is there anything else we need to mention there?
No, I think I've talked enough.
Of course, don't forget, if you can go back and watch these county commission meetings on the Chaves County Facebook page. The meetings are live there, and I think they're on demand afterwards, so you can go back and watch them and check them out. And I caught bits and pieces of the redistricting stuff. That's how I knew y'all were talking. I was like, it was. But obviously, I'm doing 2 things at once during that time, so I don't get to pay that close attention.
Yeah.
But yeah, you can go back and watch that stuff, and then of course, just remember it'll be that third Thursday of the month about 9 a.m. They get going there, and you can watch it. And of course, you can be in the You can actually go to the commission chambers and watch the meeting in person too, if you like. So.
And we have an FM transmitter, so if you want to pull up in your car in the parking
and
lot
listen on the radio,
nice. Unfortunately, I don't remember what frequency we have it set to.
Okay.
But I'll bring that next
okay.
time. So
we'll get it going. It's in the meantime,
people.
just listen to 106.5 till he gets you there.
That's right. That's for all the news. It is the news across the nation.
That's right. I'm already trying to work a deal with all the car dealerships to break the radios, and it's just stuck on one. They haven't really capitulated to that yet, but I'm trying.
Imagine. Well, thank you.
Thank you, Bill. Appreciate it. Having a great Thanksgiving. You and your family, if I don't see you between now and then.
We'll do it.
And we'll see you here next time, okay?
Okay, thank you.
All right, take care.